Well, everybody, out here in the watermelon patch, the wind started to get bad, and when that wind blows, it blows the sand that's turned up from the herring and the bed and the dirt for the watermelons. And when that wind blows, it blows that dust on those watermelons. And as it does that, it sands them, where when it blows that sand against them, against the plant, it'll tear it. The granules of sand will take and tear the watermelon plant, poke holes in it, tear the stem, and that's just not good for it. So got the irrigation running so it'll minimize that dust and it'll stop sanding those watermelons. Well, out here irrigating these watermelons, we've actually got a 6-tower Zimmatic going. And as you can see, this old house, somebody lived in this old house right here whenever the pivot was put up, but it's abandoned now. But as you can see, that pivot actually bends around it, and if I pull up, you can see it's over here too. It's in this field, and then it comes right here around this house and bends right over there, as you can see. This right here is the motor. It's a Cat 3406. It's actually what powers the well, which provides the water for the pivot. As you can tell, I'm gonna try and keep the window up because it's a very loud engine. But that powers a well, which is way down deep in the ground, that brings up enough water to power the pivots we're using to water the watermelon. Right here you can see when it's dry, this dirt right here is very loose, kind of like if you dig down, it's just very loose. And when the wind blows, it'll blow these grains of sand and it'll hit that stem or that leaf and tear it, and that's bad for the plant. But as you can see, now that it's been irrigated, that stuff's not gonna blow. You really got to get down and grab it to get it out of the dirt. You really got to pull on it. That sand's not gonna blow it away like it was whenever it was dry. And as you can see right here, occasionally there's issues with watering, such as the pivot getting stuck like it is right now. Caused all this water to pool up because it's stuck. As you can see, out here in the watermelon field, got a chain hooked up to this stuck pivot. Waiting on the other guy to go start walking the pivot, and then once he starts walking it, which is making a move, I'm gonna start pulling. Hopefully we'll get this thing out of the mud. We got the pivot out, but the universal joints broke on it, and that's why it's stuck. So it ain't going nowhere. Yet another problem that occurs when attempting to irrigate. Got a water line that's apparently rusted out and blown a hole in it. Took to that riser, and now yet something else to fix. Something all of the time. Today we're working on repair of that irrigation riser. We got a welder out here coming to fix it. Right now he's actually grinding down on it, and then he's going to start welding on it just a minute. Out here with the welder, I checked on this wheat, and as you can see, it's starting to put on seeds right here. Now, while this may sound like it might be close to harvest, it's really not, because slowly these seeds will start to harden from bottom up. And once these seeds right up here start to harden, then you'll be about as close to harvesting as you're gonna get for the time frame. Out here in this wheat field, I've noticed you've got plants like this. And this right here is some volunteer clover. Now, this wheat field I'm walking in right now, right here, has truly it's been strip tilled for about 10 years. Last year was the first year it's not been strip tilled. and it was just harrowed, some light tillage, and then bedded. But before that, it had some clover sowed up in it. And so every year after you strip tilled, got done with your cotton or peanuts or corn, this clover would come out. And what you could do, take and let some of them cows right there out into this clover field, and they would have a ball eating that stuff right there. As you can see, this spot's where it wasn't bedded or harrowed right here because it's so close to the riser, and it's coming up. But that is some great cow food. This thing right here is a riser. It's what you call, or it's how farmers irrigate their crops whenever they don't have a pivot. This thing is plumbed to some underground irrigation line, and what you do is you've got a big machine that's got a big old spool on it with some rubber hose. Through that rubber hose, it pumps water out to an end gun, which works just like a pivot, except it slowly moves across the field. Now right now I'm draining this one so that the one that they're working on way up there will come loose. But this is what is flooded into those hard hoses, if you might see them. Well, y'all, it's the day after that tornado, the tornado watch and whatnot, and as you can see, it rained a good bit. That plastic's kind of acting like a dam to that water down there, holding it back. I don't think that there was any tornadoes, but there was definitely, well, not definitely, but there was an inch or so of rain that came last night, and that's not that bad for the watermelons. That's not bad at all. But that stuff sitting out there right there can cause some problems. I mean, but it does mean we won't have to irrigate for a little while, so that's a pretty good bonus. All right, so I wanted to take the time to say thank you to everybody who watched, took the time out of their day to watch the video. I've decided I'm gonna try and get a whole year of Georgia farming in, and if it goes well, then I'll keep going. But I'm gonna try and showcase what farming down here in the South is like, because there's not that many Georgia or farmers from South Georgia on YouTube. So I'm gonna try and showcase that, and I want to thank you for watching, and I'd like to ask if you'd like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and if not, that's okay, but I was just going to ask that. And